Beyond the Mic with Sean Dillon.
We're joined on a Starline by Grammy Award-winning songwriter, musician, actor, and best-selling author. He's hitting the road with the I Want My 80's tour. We welcome Rick Springfield.
How are you, Sean?
Absolutely great, Rick. Let's go Beyond the Mic. Who's joining you on this amazing tour?
This tour is with the Hooters, who I love. Paul Young, you know, every time you go away. Tommy Two-Tone, and occasionally the Tubes and John Waite are joining us, and we start August 4th.
It's great to go out on tour with people that have the same passion that you have for music. Why is going out with people that have that passion for music so fulfilling for you?
When I first started going to shows as a kid, it was when I saw the Beatles. I saw the Beatles in 1964 in Australia, which is where I'm from, and there was always like 5 or 6 acts on the bill, and I loved that. And now there's like 3-hour shows, and it's going, dude, let's see someone else. So the package tour thing has been kind of a blessing. You can have a lot of fun. It's wall-to-wall hits. If you go out with good people, it can really make it a lot of fun. A lot more fun than normal.
You've teamed up with Sammy Hagar for Beach Bar Rums. Why was teaming up with Sammy perfect? I mean, you recently sent him a guitar.
Yeah, you know, Sammy wrote I've Done Everything for You, and I've known him since then. We've been friends since like 1981. I think everybody thinks at one point about getting into the alcohol business, especially if you drink it. Sammy has already had a home run with the tequila, so he called me up and said, I have this new company called Beach Bar Rum, and you want to partner in on it. So I jumped at it because he really knows what he's doing with all that stuff. He doesn't just slap his name on it. He does research. He helps formulate the drinks, and it's been a lot of fun. We've done some shows together because of it, and I did something here in LA yesterday with it, and we were promoting it. So it's a natural promotion. You know, music and drinking kind of go together.
You've played almost everything on your new album, Automatic, and there are some secrets hidden in for your late engineer, Matty. How did he touch your life?
He was, Matty Spindell was my friend for 25 years. He worked as the engineer here in my studio, and he was front of house and tour manager on the road. So I spent more time with him than my wife. He was just a really good friend, and he passed away, wow, I think in October from pancreatic cancer, and it was very sudden, and he went very fast, and it was very, very brutal. I wrote a song on the new album called She Walks with the Angels about Matty, and dedicated the album to him because he did a lot of great work on it, and we miss him very much.
From the I Want My 80's tour, author, singer, musician, songwriter, and much more, Rick Springfield joins us Beyond the Mic for the Rocking 8. It's 8 random questions, Rick. All you got to do is answer with the first thing that comes to your mind. There is no pressure.
I know. First thing that comes to mind.
Favorite of the Beach Bar Rums?
Cola Spice. Fresh out of the freezer.
Rick, what was the first guitar you ever owned, and do you still have it?
No, I have a copy of it. The first electric was a Framus because we couldn't afford Gibsons or Fenders in Australia, so we had to get the Framuses and the Hofners. So I rebought it actually online a few years ago. It was a lot more than I originally paid for mine.
What's your favorite moment with your son, Liam?
Wow. I've had so many of them. Geez, that's a tough one. I was saying, what's your favorite song? I think certainly when I came home, actually before he was born, I couldn't grasp the whole idea of having a kid. And I came home, I was recording Tao actually at the time, the album I did in 1985. And I came home and my wife had bought a little onesie and laid it on the kitchen table with a little pair of booties. And I realized that very soon a body would be filling that outfit. And it really hit me at that point. I was like, oh my God, wow.
Which song from Automatic is your favorite?
Wow.
Not the label's favorite, yours.
I think Automatic because I dreamt that song. You don't often get the chance to do that. Usually it's a Rolling Stones song or a Beatles song. You wake up going, oh, I wrote this. Oh, no, wait, they wrote it first. So I woke up at 3 a.m. with a song in my head and got up and wrote what had come into my, in the dream, and then got up the next day and finished it. But it was, I don't know where it came from or necessarily what it means, but it came through. So I'm always happy when that happens.
You brought up the Beatles, so What is your favorite Beatles album?
Probably Revolver. But the second album is especially dear to me because I was like 14 or 15. And I remember going to a local house party and they had the new record and they put it on and it was like aliens had landed. And it's just a memory of being a young kid and those kind of memories. That's why, like the 80's tour we're doing, I think that's what the nostalgia kind of feel is about. It's remembering great times when the world was open, the window was open and everything was acceptable.
How about the last movie you saw?
Wow. I can't remember. Nope, can't remember. I haven't seen one. In a long time. Most of the great writing has gone to TV now.
That's true.
We love The Crown. We watched The Crown about 4 times already. So I guess that counts as 6 or 7 movies right there.
Exactly. What was the first car you ever owned?
Ford Fiesta. Cost me $4,000. It was brand new, the last $4,000 car. I walked into the showroom at like 8 o'clock just before they closed in 1979, and it was sitting there for $4,000. I said, "I'll take that." And the salesmen all looked at each other and went, because usually it's the one they put in the newspaper for the next morning, and then you come in and say, "I want that Ford Fiesta," and they say, "Oh, sorry, that's already gone, but we have this one." And then they sell that one to their brother or their sister-in-law, so they had to sell it to me. So it was the last, like I said, the last $4,000 car.
How do you drink your coffee?
My wife makes an amazing coffee. I have one right here. So if you're on Zoom, there it is. It's almond milk, and she makes it with Nespresso and all that kind of stuff. I don't really know how to do it. She's a genius.
It's time for One Big Question with Rick Springfield Beyond the Mic. Rick, in a recent chat, you talked about the challenges of getting your new music on the air. Otherwise, radio stations, well, they suck. How do you think radio has changed now for the worse since you started years ago?
The classic example of that is Jesse's Girl. That wasn't released as a single. DJs around the country who back then had choices. If they liked a song, they could play it. They could play with they had a certain set list, but they could throw in songs if they liked them. And they started throwing in Jesse's Girl just because they liked the song. And they started getting a lot of phones and then called up RCA and said, you should release Jesse's Girl as a single because we're getting a lot of phones on it. And RCA went, duh, okay. And so they released it, and that couldn't happen now because set lists are super tight. And all that whole experimental, anything can happen music on radio, just it's not there anymore on AM radio, pop radio.
He loves cola, spice, rum out of the freezer, drinks his coffee with almond milk, and wants you to hear his album, Automatic. Rick Springfield, out on tour now. Thanks for taking the time to talk with us today.
Thanks, Sean. That doesn't really sum me up, but okay.
Have to make it interesting, and that, my friends, is a Beyond the Mic shortcut. If you're enjoying these conversations, please check out another Beyond the Mic episode to find more actors, artists, and people you need to know. We'd also appreciate a like and subscribe on the Good Pods app.